you may be thinking about moving to St. George, Utah. But before you move, before you pack your bags, stop. You got to watch this video because we're going to give you 5 relocation.
Not 5 as in the number, not stop, but 5.
5, yes. 5 relocation tips that you've got to know before you pack your bags, before you reserve that U-Haul, and before you come out here. So stay tuned.
What's up, everybody? I'm Sean Dezad.
And I'm Courtney Dezad, and we're with Keller Williams Realty right here in St. George, Utah. And if you want to know everything about living in St. George, don't forget to press on the subscribe button, and don't forget to press on the little bell so you're notified every time that we upload a new video, because we upload new videos every week.
Yes, and honestly, we love making these videos. How much do we love making these videos?
They're fun.
Yeah, they are. But you know what we love more? We actually love to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, what you want to do is you want to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email.
Or you can reach out to us via WhatsApp. However you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back. Because remember, we're licensed realtors. So that's what we do for a living. So the first tip we're going to talk about, and this is actually one that came up recently with a potential client that Sean was talking about the other day, is that you've got to ask yourself the question, how is the relocation and the potential job that you're going to have here going to affect your ability to get a loan? So talk about this.
Yeah, so basically I had this situation come out. Someone was going, okay, I'm relocating to St. George, and I'm like, great, that's awesome. And they're going, okay, so what I'm doing is I'm moving from I'm a salaried employee and I'm opening up my own business here. And I'm going, okay, that's great. I'm happy for you that you're kind of, doing this, this change. But I said, okay, but one thing is you need to talk to a lender about this, because the situation is that when you're actually going from a salaried employee to a self-employed person, the problem with that is that lenders are very hesitant to lend money to a brand new self-employed person, because really they don't know, you have no track record as as being self-employed generating income. And also, over a course of time, there's a huge percentage of businesses that fail within 2 years of opening. They don't mind going from self-employed to salaried as long as it's in the same line of work, but because that's guaranteed income. The other way, though, going from salary to self-employed, not guaranteed. They really can't take your income into account. As far at least fully, they can't take your income into account.
And then what about if somebody is moving here and they have a totally different job, a totally different line of work? How could that affect?
Well, that's when you need to talk to a lender, because, there's ways that you kind of describe it where you input on your mortgage application, how that all works. So I don't want to, obviously that's not, we're not lenders ourselves. So that would definitely be something where you would want to talk to a lender to explain to them what your situation is, because there may be, even though they may seem unrelated, maybe they're different industries, but maybe you're in HR in one industry and HR in another. So you're still in the same line of work technically, even if you're in aerospace in one industry and you're in a car dealership in another.
So another tip that we have, and this is something that has actually worked out really well for a lot of people, is when they come here, a lot of people, they say, I want to rent first. And that's understandable, because you want to get into the area, you want to get to figure out what areas do I like the best. But one tip that we have that works out for a lot of people is a lot of people decide, okay, I'm going to do a short-term rental, a 30-day rental here. And then I'm going to do a 30-day rental here. And then I'm going to do a 30-day rental here to sort of get a better idea of different areas more quickly. And then they're also not locked into a year-long lease. So if something does come up, they can take advantage of it. So why is that something people do?
Well, so this is actually kind of important, especially a place like St. George, where the appreciation has been so high, the interest rates have been moving so much. Let's say you go, okay, I don't know the area, so I want to rent for a year. Okay, I understand that makes sense for you. However, if you had done that in 2021, that same property that you probably could have bought in the beginning of 2021, it was 40% higher at the end of 2021. So also what was possibly in your budget is now completely out of your budget, right? If that's kind of where you were at. So I would say that, a good idea, rather than going for a 12-month lease, is making that a little more condensed, maybe 6 months, but really 3 months is that nice sweet spot where it gives you time to actually be looking for properties, and at the same time you have a place to stay, because obviously you need a roof over your head. And this whole idea of either going with an Airbnb in an area and talking to that owner, saying, okay, you know what, I know it's
in St. George, a lot of Airbnbs do 30 days,
yeah,
because they have weird zoning regulations here.
Exactly. So you could extend that out to even one location for 3 months possibly. Or what's really cool is that actually you can have 3 different neighborhoods where you are doing a 1-month rental in each one, where you're getting a nice feel of the different areas that St. George has to offer.
So another tip that we recommend is you definitely want to come out here and do, kind of like a little reconnaissance mission before you pull the trigger and buy. Because
I mean, the way I do it is I just take out the map of the United States, get a dart, throw it at it. Wherever it lands, we're moving there. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. Or, I just look at movies, I'm like, let's move to Montana. Okay, let's watch, a movie about Montana. That's how it really is.
It's not any different.
So yeah, you definitely want to make a trip out here and, see it for yourself.
Yeah, and St. George is not Westworld. Let's just put it that way. You have some attributes and stuff, but we're not animatronic people.
Yes, for sure. Sean's making a joke because Westworld was filmed in southern Utah. So, but yeah, so you definitely want to come out here if you haven't already been here and sort of,
scout the area.
Decide, do I really want to be here?
And where around here, where are you gravitating towards? Like kind of tour those different areas, the shops, the places of employment if you're if you have a physical location you possibly be going to, and also let's say if you have a family, check out the various schools and make kind of get a lay of the land.
Yeah, and then another thing, people that come from the West Coasts, they tend to wonder about the summers. So I would recommend coming out in the summer if it's possible, within your timeline, to see if it's okay with you the summers that we have here. And another tip you want to think about is, if you do have a family, you do definitely want to consider schools before you move. Check out the schools, maybe, even do some tours of the schools and decide, is being close to this school important to me?
Yeah, for sure. Because obviously what's interesting about St. George, what good news is that everywhere is about, especially within St. George, it's about 15 minutes, give or take, from one end to the other. I mean, it's not that far of a drive. So, but some people, they, if schools are important to you, what you want to do is you want to kind of consider, do you want to actually be right where that school is? Do you want to be in that neighborhood? Do you want your kids to actually be like going to school with their neighbors, right? It's that could be something that's important to you. And we have neighbors that basically they have 4 kids and they went to 4 different schools scattered all throughout Washington County. So it didn't matter to them. So it's one of those things where again, that's a personal preference thing, but again, that's definitely something to take into account for sure.
So another thing to consider as well, I mean, again, the traffic here is pretty light and, most things are about 15 minutes away from each other. But you do want to consider commute. I mean, let's say you are just dead set on living out in Hurricane because you just love the area, it's closer to Zion, you like the space, but in reality, you work in downtown. So is that commute okay with you? You really have to be honest with yourself about this.
Yeah, and again, that commute time is different for everybody. We come from Southern California where a commute of 30 minutes plus is
45 minutes.
Yeah, is very normal. Whereas some other places around the country and within St. George, it's 15 minutes is too far. So it's one of those things where you want to kind of really get a feel of what, one, you want to just be clear about what's important to you. Are you fine with that bit of a commute or not? Because really, I mean, good news about Washington County, everything's fairly close, especially when you're considering other areas of the country.
Yeah.
So it's not it's not like Houston, Texas, where to go from one suburb of Houston to another spot is an hour and a half. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But but St. George, everything's pretty close. And also you have that 15 freeway running right through it. So it's pretty easy to hop onto a freeway and get to where we need to go to.
And then because there are a lot of areas around here that, they are kind of far out there, kind of in the hinterlands or whatever, you really just got to be honest with yourself. Do you want that kind of living? I mean, some people, that's what they want, right? They want to be out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh yeah, you have people that live in the ledges. They love to be.
I wouldn't even consider that.
Yeah, that's not even that far. Yeah, that's true.
10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Virgin or some other spots where it's
in Hurricane, you can kind of get far out there.
Virgin's even farther. So so depending on where you're going, you can certainly as you get closer to Zion or up north a bit more, you're definitely more out of the way. But some people really like that too. It's not like it's a bad thing. I mean, for me personally, I don't like to be as far out of the way. I like to be kind of where, again, close enough to where all the action is. Not exactly where all the action is, but close enough where some people, they want that space. They want that, they would just want to be out there and totally get it too.
Yeah, they don't want to have neighbors around them.
Yeah.
Whereas I definitely like having neighbors personally.
Personally, yes.
Yeah, so that's just something that you definitely want to consider, before you relocate to St. George. So that's it. That's our video.
And remember, we are licensed realtors right here in the state of Utah. So as much as we love doing these videos, what we love more is to help you with your real estate needs. So whether you're looking to buy or sell a home, what you want to do is you want to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email.
Or you can reach out to us via WhatsApp. However you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back.